Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the session. My name is Antoine, and I'm here with Google. And over to you, Serge.
My name is Serge. I'm working for NVIDIA, and I think we will try to show you our partnership, I will say.
Absolutely. So both Google and NVIDIA have a long and storied history in innovation in AI and data. Today, you've probably caught some of the announcements from Google around Gemini and VO3 and the hundreds of other announcements which we've made recently. Today, so we're here to talk about the partnership between Google and NVIDIA. And today, it's entering a new stage, which is a lot more strategic. So, Serge, Jensen Huang spoke at the last two GTCs about the new scaling laws. Can you walk us through what's changed and why that matters?
Yeah, I think as we all know in this room, we spend a lot of time on training. There is pre-training, training, now there is post-training. I think there is two factors that are extremely important. Is let's say, reasoning model. Okay, we see more and more reasoning model. They are generating more and more token. This is one aspect. And of course, there is agentic AI. More agents talking to each other, generating as well more and more data that you need to store, that you need to manage, you need to secure as well. Okay, so there is all of that, and this is why we launched Blackwell. This is why Blackwell, our latest, greatest technology, GPU, exists. And I think, Antoine, Google was the first one to have Blackwell.
Absolutely. So right now, NVIDIA Blackwell is available on Google Cloud through the A4 instances, which are B200 GPUs. We've also got the A4X, which is the GB200. And the recently, of course, announced G4 instance, which is the RTX Pro 6000, which is an incredibly versatile and is perfect for AI inference and advanced graphics. Anything to add on that, Serge?
Yes, so Blackwell, you know, there is B200, GB200, I will not go to the code name. So RTX Pro 6000 Blackwell Server Edition is I would say it's a GPU that is basically general GPU. You can do graphics, you can do AI, you said inference, you can do inference on AI. You can do as well digital twin. You can simulate digital twin. So it's really the GPU that every enterprise should adopt, okay, in their lineup to solve complex problems. Now, if they want to have much more capability, they can pick as well the Blackwell, let's say the standard Blackwell you have in your cloud. I think we spoke about hardware. For me, the AI, if you look at agentic AI, if you look at tomorrow physical AI with robotics, whatever the verticals are, it's a software discussion. Okay, it's a use case discussion, it's a workload discussion. And what you need to keep in mind in our partnership, in the Google Cloud Marketplace, we have all the software from NVIDIA. We have it in GKE, in Vertex AI. We have NVIDIA AI Enterprise that gives the capability to move to production and get the support from NVIDIA and as well from Google Cloud. And I think this is key for developing model, but for inference as well. Okay, if you can be secure when you go to production, open source is one thing. Open source is fantastic. Okay, but when you use only open source and you go to production, you have an issue. Who I will call? These guys. I wait the community to answer to me. I will wait 2 months potentially on one problem. So I think we try to help the customer via Google Cloud in order for them to get the best experience.
Absolutely. And Serge, you've touched on NVIDIA AI Enterprise. Today, it's available through DGX Cloud on Google Cloud Marketplace. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I can tell you a little bit more about DGX Cloud. So DGX Cloud, I try to keep it simple. DGX Cloud it's basically the capacity to have access to a supercomputer in the cloud. And you have it in Google Cloud. In fact, you have access to instances. You can pick these instances. You have the right network. You have the right reference architecture, in fact. So you have the right network, the right GPU, the right software, and so on and so on. Many companies are using it to start because they have all this environment in Google Cloud they can use. After a few months, let's say 1, 2, 3, whatever, they are moving to use the instances inside Google Cloud with the software we mentioned on the marketplace. This is, in a, I would say, in simple manner, how is DGX Cloud.
Fantastic. And Serge, there's also a concept and a product, a suite of products, which we're hearing more and more about, which are NVIDIA NIM, NIM. So what should customers know about this?
So in fact, NVIDIA NIMs, so NVIDIA Inference Microservices, it's container where basically we put different models. Gemma is one of them. Okay, we put, and in fact, if you are a developer, you want to develop your application because we are not here to develop the application for people. Does not make any sense. We are here to provide the ingredient, to provide the framework, to provide the software stack, and we are speaking about full software stack. So the NIMs, you need to see it as container I will pick, okay, to build my application, to build my case, to solve these complex problems. And if you want to have the support from NVIDIA, as we said before, you can use NVIDIA AI Enterprise in this case, and you basically subscribe to a license per GPU, and you can have access to the support, but you can have access to many other things. And there is a ton of NIMs. I think, perhaps I will say stupidity, I think we are at 150 or something like that, and NIMs available, and that people can use using our GPU, because you need to understand that we are optimizing, when we put a model in a NIM, we are optimizing this model to get the best performance on our GPU, of course. Of course. So you can use Blackwell 200 in Google Cloud with NVIDIA AI Enterprise. You can use the NIMs. Everything is available now. It's not tomorrow, it's today.
So basically, customers can deploy faster with less risk, right? You know, maybe on the topic of sovereignty and confidential computing, what can you tell us about that?
I think sovereignty is a big debate. Huh? After you need to define what is sovereignty. This is the point. Okay, sovereignty can mean many things, but let's say high level. I think. And we see it here. We have a lot of local CSPs. Of course, we have our friends from Google, from other hyperscalers. Security, data protection is a key topic. But I think, Antoine, you have also some initiative to, in this let's say, environment about sovereignty with a few different things.
Yeah, absolutely. So NVIDIA hardware and software is available through Google Distributed Cloud and also through SANS, S3NS, which is a joint venture between Google Cloud and Thales. So we offer all those services, the most advanced services locally here in France. Serge, you know, maybe in terms of closing remarks, why do you think NVIDIA and Google form a strong partnership? Maybe in your own words.
In my own words. No, I think we are working together for long. It's not only a collaboration, as you can see, just go to marketing and so on, or coming to event together. It's much more than that. It's this collaboration is starting from an engineering level. Okay, so we are developing things together. We are putting things together in your cloud. Okay, but we want to go much further. We want to go after. We want to address the enterprise. We want to understand, and it has always been a motion for NVIDIA, is to work by vertical. If you take healthcare, you take industrial, you take finance, and so on. because what we want to do is to understand the language of this vertical. Okay, if you are asking me to speak about genomic, I will speak about genomic, but 3 minutes. 3 minutes, because as soon as the person in front of me will use a specific language on genomic, I am lost. Of course, I am lost. I am not a specialist of genomic. So we want to bring use cases, we want to bring frameworks for people, and I think this is starting at the engineering level, but it's not only, yeah, I have a GPU available, okay, fantastic. Many people think, okay, I put a GPU in a server and I'm doing AI. No, AI is much more than that. You need to have the right reference architecture, as I said. You need to have the network, you need to have the storage, you need to have the GPU, of course. You need to have many, many things to be able to do that. And this is generating a close collaboration, okay, from an engineering point of view, from, let's say, testing, qualifying, and so on, because this is not so easy, let's say.
Absolutely, and just to bounce off what you just said, from Google's point of view, both Google and NVIDIA are used to creating and opening new markets, and with DGX Cloud, you've got a software stack that includes support, that includes cutting-edge chips, and that also includes software. So here, you can get started quickly and invent completely new experiences and services.
Yeah, I think just to add, I think there is many software at Google, okay? Many software to do AI and so on and so on. I think where we bring value is as soon as you have complex workload, okay? Where people want to do this or want to do that, and this is combining our force that give us the capability to solve these problems, okay? We spoke about genomic, healthcare, research, FSI, whatever the vertical are. And I think this is extremely important to think, not to go deeply and say, oh yeah, I want to do AI. By experience, you need to speak to the business people in enterprise. You need to speak to the data scientist, of course. But at one point of time, you need to bring IT for a simple reason. IT has a budget, okay? IT has a budget, and if you spend months with business people plus data scientists, this is great, and people are fantastic. But if you are not involving IT at one point of time, IT will come and say, "Guys, I'm not aware of what you are doing." So this is the conclusion. So work inside the company, software, and after it will run on GPU.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Serge. Thank you for attending the session.
Thank you.